Hi everyone, this is Vampy and today I'm going to talk to you about the Lazy Kate from Dreaming Robots. First of all, what is a Lazy Kate? Well, when you've been spinning singles, you'll have a load of yarn like this on your bobbin. Generally, you'll want to take two or more lots of these yarns and ply them together to get a new yarn that is balanced, that's thicker and stronger and more resistant to abrasion than the original. Put these bobbins on the floor, they'll be rolling around all over the place. So a Lazy Kate is just what we use to hold these bobbins nicely in place and let the yarn spool off while we're plying. When you get your Lazy Kate, get a little card in with it that tells you what all the parts are. The first one here is the base. And you take this yarn spike, bobbin rod, and screw it in. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Got a few extra bits here though. I will go over this spike in a minute. Two important ones for the Lazy Kate are these ones here. You put your bobbin on with this ring, the one that has the brake band on it, put that one down. You have this little piece here, it's just a little O-ring. That's a bobbin stopper that you can put over the top here, just on there, to stop your bobbin coming off. Now, I don't really bother using that. I keep my Lazy Kate horizontal, so my bobbin's not going anywhere. But if you want the added security, it's a nice little touch. And then the last bit here is this piece of elastic. You want to use that if you're going to ever be wanting some tension on your singles. Now, you might want that if your singles are freshly spun and they're misbehaving a little bit. These have been sitting on the bobbin for a couple of weeks, so they should be fairly well behaved, but we'll have a look. There, as I'm pulling them off here, you can see they're doubling back on themselves and pigtailing a little bit. So if there's ever any point where I'm plying and I let the tension off, that it might misbehave a little bit. Generally, I would control that with my hands and not worry too much about it. But if it bothers you, you've got these 4 little grooves, one on each corner. And simply slot the elastic in. Go round that little bobbin whirl, which is why I told you to put it on the bottom, and you can either put a light tension by putting it to this side so it just touches it, or you can bring the tension up a little bit higher by putting it to the far side. That bobbin really isn't going anywhere, so that would be good for a really thick yarn, and then it'll only start unspooling when you pull it quite hard. For a yarn this thick, there's no need to have it that high, so put it on that side, and that lets it unwind when I pull it, but it stops fairly quickly. If I take it off, if I pull it, it carries on unspooling and wraps the other way, which we don't want. So do it again. Yeah, I don't want my yarn wrapping back, so just a little bit of extra tension. And that stops it, and it goes a quarter of a turn the wrong way. So you play with that while you're plying, figure out whether you like some tension, no tension, different kinds of yarns, you might want different levels of tension. Another great thing about these Lazy Kates is they fit together. So I've got 2 here already joined, and I put them down flat, put the hole on the bottom and the lump on the top, and it just slots in, and I've got my 3 Lazy Kates joined together, ready to make a 3-ply yarn. These ones are a bit more substantial than the 3D printed ones if you've tried those, but if you do want them on a heavier base, they've got little eyelets here. You can see you can get a board of wood with screws in, and then those will go over the screws and just slot into place, and then that's not going anywhere. But they don't come standard attached to something, because this way they're nice and portable and they fold down. And here we've got the final feature that you don't get on many Lazy Kates. It's just a spike you can put over there, and that works to spin freely on the shaft, which means you can use it when you're knitting. So I have this ball of yarn that I'm going to use for my next project. Put the spike through the middle and put it on there. Then when I want to knit, This will just nicely, gently unspool from the lazy cake without the ball rolling around all over the floor. There you go. And then when I'm done with them, it's fairly quick to just unscrew all the parts. Okay, and those will all nicely go in a bag if I'm travelling with my e-spinner, which is great. Thank you for watching.